Hi everyone, Pastor Donna here from Heaven to Earth Ministries. I am so happy that you're here with me today, and I really appreciate you coming and joining me for our daily devotional. Today's scripture is taken from 1 Corinthians chapter 2, and I am going to read verse 1 and verse 3 for you. And so it is with me, brothers and sisters. This is the Apostle Paul, by the way, and he is talking to the church there in Corinth. And so it was with me, brothers and sisters. When I came to you, I did not come with eloquence or human wisdom as I proclaimed to you the testimony about God. So this is verse 1. I'm going to read verse 3 a little later. But here in verse 1, he talks about that he didn't come to them with his own wisdom. He didn't come to them with this eloquence, like he was some kind of an eloquent speaker, but he came there to proclaim the message of the gospel, to talk to them about Jesus and all that Jesus had done for them, to uplift and encourage them. So he didn't speak on his own accord, but he always spoke what came from God. But then in verse 3, he says this, I came to you in weakness, with great fear and trembling. Few people probably realize the fear and trembling that the Apostle Paul had when he would come to them because of his own weaknesses, and he knew what his own weaknesses were. And he knew how insignificant he was as a person. And sometimes that caused him to be fearful, fearing that others might see his weaknesses and not accept the message of Christ. But when we're preaching the message of Christ, when we're talking to others about the message of Christ, even though we have our own weaknesses, it's because of those weaknesses that God uses us, because we are being guided by His divine power and His divine wisdom. So, because of that, Paul, even though nervous, he didn't try to hide his weaknesses, and actually, he spoke rather publicly about what those weaknesses are. Sometimes today we'll find that in religious leaders, but also in ourselves. We want people to see us as strong because we think, well, they won't listen to us if they don't see us as strong. So we don't want to show them our weaknesses, or we don't want to show them that we're vulnerable in some areas. But in order to be on a journey of being authentic, we can't do that. We can't hide our weaknesses or hide our vulnerability. We may think people won't listen to us, but truthfully, it's just the opposite. Being authentic may seem like a weakness to us. Like, I may look at myself and think, I have weaknesses, I have vulnerabilities. Why would God want to use me? And I don't want people to see those weaknesses because maybe they won't accept the message. So maybe we, as the person giving the message, might seem like our weaknesses are a hindrance, but it's really just the opposite. While we see it as a weakness, others see it as courage. And that we have the courage to speak out God's message and speak about Christ despite our weaknesses. And it's also a great opportunity to show how God uses everyone. No matter what our weaknesses are, our vulnerabilities are, God uses everyone. Every single Christian can be used by God. And what an honor that is, that despite our weaknesses, God can use us to achieve His purpose. And that is such a blessing. Don't hold back on that. Don't let your weaknesses stop you. And don't try to hide your weaknesses from others because you're afraid that they won't listen to you. So today, I want to end our discussion by talking about our journey of authenticity and tracking that journey and seeing how far we come. So it's something that we're going to write down. We're going to have 3 sections in this journey tracker. The exercise that I'm giving you, it's not designed to discourage you, but it's designed to show you how far you've come and inspire you to keep moving forward. If we don't write things down, sometimes we don't really see how far we've come. Other people may see it, but we don't always see how far we've come. So when we can write certain things down and really think about them, it can be an encouragement to us because we think, wow, this is where I started. This is where I am now. I really have moved forward in my journey. So section 1, you want to write down who I used to be, who you used to be. Just go to section 1 and just write that down, who you used to be. Don't forget to be authentic and real with what you write down because you need to be true to yourself. Section 2, who I am today. So write down, first you're writing down who you used to be. Now you're going to write down in section 2 who you are today. And then in section 3, who I want to become. And writing down not only establishes goals for yourself and actually makes you think about who you want to become, but it also is going to show you where you started and how far you've come down to today. So I really want to encourage you to go ahead and just do that exercise. It's not something you do every day. It's just something you can sit down today, just one day, and write who I used to be, who I am today, who I want to become. I think that's exciting. It should be exciting for you. And I hope that you will take a few minutes of your time to do that little exercise. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. I really appreciate you. Please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And have a wonderful day. And I'll see you tomorrow for another devotional. Bye-bye.